It is Sunday, May 26th, and the Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm Matt Modi, and I have two bangers for you guys to lock in for tomorrow's betting slate. We're talking Monday, Memorial Day, May 27th, between the Pacers and the Celtics. Two bangers for that game for you guys to lock in. After a couple-day hiatus, I am back in my new office, in my new background. Hopefully, things are going to be coming a lot more consistently now that I am moved in. I am recording this before Sunday's game has finished, so I do not have a Sunday recap for you guys. Hopefully that play won. Just had one play there, and we're starting a nice little hot streak here. Just to do a recap from the last time you saw me. So I am recapping Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because I did not have a video since then. So I'm recording Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's been fine. 3-2 in that stretch, up 0.7 units, not breaking the bank or anything like that, but it is nice to at least be in the green. We went 2-0 on Thursday night. We went 0-2 on Friday night, and then we cashed our one banger that we had on Saturday. So there we have the 3-2 there on the entire season, up a little bit over 112 units on the season, and then on the playoffs specifically, up a little bit over 4 units. The playoffs have been admittedly pretty hit or miss. Honestly, this entire playoff run, every time it feels like we're going on a hot streak. Like there was a stretch on Wednesday and Thursday. We were 5-0. We cashed literally all 5 of our plays on Wednesday and Thursday. Then on Friday, we took a step back going 0-2. Then on Saturday, only one play, but we did cash it. So that's kind of how the playoffs have been. Hopefully, we can get a sustained hot streak going. We have been green 3 of the last 4 days. So if you include Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's been good in those 4 days, just with one blip on Friday. So again, hopefully we can get some sustained success going. If you are new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. And then, of course, for this specific video, would appreciate it if you could like and comment. Love reading through all the comments and seeing what everybody has to say. And then also, the last thing I'll mention before I get into the bangers is that I do have a dub club where all of my plays get sent out for only $5 a month. Gets you everything that I'm playing. NBA, WNBA, MLB, whatever the sports season is, that's what the dub club gets you. I will admit, dub club gets you the same exact plays you see me give out for free on YouTube and on Twitter. I just send them out early. So as soon as I decide what a play is, the very first thing I do is send it out to Dub Club. So sometimes the odds change by the time I record, edit, and post a video. Sometimes people don't have time to watch the videos. That's where the Dub Club comes into play. So if you're interested, check that out. Link is in the description as well as the pinned comment. But that's enough of that. Let's get into the bangers for Monday. Obviously, Celtics Pacers going to have 2 plays for this game, starting with Jaylen Brown over 4.5 first quarter points, -130 odds at bet365. I have absolutely no idea what these sports books are doing with Jaylen Brown's first quarter point total. He scored 10 points in the first quarter of game 1. He scored 7 points in the first quarter of game 2. And now this is being priced at 4.5. Yes, he did go under last game, but he scored 4 points, and it was literally one of the only 2 times this entire playoff run in which Jaylen Brown went under 4.5 first quarter points. If you wanted to, you could get better odds on FanDuel at the over 5.5 if you wanted to do that. I decided to play it safe and go with the over 4.5 because 3 separate times this playoff run, Jaylen Brown has landed on exactly 5 first quarter points. So if he makes a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer, that gets him to 5 points. That would cash this over 4.5. That would not cash, obviously, the over 5.5. So that's why I am going with the 4.5. And as I mentioned, he's only gone under this number in 2 games this entire playoff run. And sure, it just happened to be the last game that he played where he only scored 4 points. So game 3 was the one of the 2 times he went under in these entire playoffs. As I mentioned, game 1, he scored 10 points. Game 2, he scored 7 points in the first quarter. And that's more in line with what should be expected from Jaylen Brown. Now in game 3, he did make 2 field goals. They were both just 2-pointers. So he only ended up with 4 points. But the fact that just because last game he went under, this is all the way down to 4.5, whereas in games 2 and 3, it was at 6.5. That 2 points is massive. I'm shocked that the books are pricing it at this number. Something that I will gladly take advantage of, right? As I mentioned, this is now the 3rd time. He has gone over this number in 11 of 13 playoff games this season. And if you look into the specific matchup against the Pacers, it's an incredibly juicy matchup for Jaylen Brown to score a bunch of points, right? He has now played the Pacers 8 times this season. Game 3 was the only time that he did not score 5 or more points in the first quarter. Here are his point totals in the first 7 games. 6, 10, 10, 12, 7, 10, 7. He scored in the double digits in the first quarter 4 times, and then 6, 7, 7 in the other 3 times. And then last game, he only scored 4 points. I love immediately fading those results from game 3. I love the fact that the books have way over adjusted to one game going under. And in general, this is a perfect series, perfect matchup for Jaylen Brown to score a bunch of points. I mentioned it before game 1. He scored 10 points in the first quarter. I held off in game 2. He scored 7 points, and he scored 40 points in the game. So because the matchup is so good, it makes sense why Jaylen Brown has been able to score a ton of points in the first quarter, because he generally is a player that starts hot. But the way the Pacers play defense is they allow a ton of points to high usage players, whether it's high usage centers, wings, guards, whatever, whoever's a high usage player, and also players that attack the rim. So last game, it was Tatum's turn to blow up. He had a phenomenal game last game after struggling in the first 2 games, especially in game 2. But if you just look at purely the matchup, slightly better matchup for Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown and Tatum do have similar shot profiles. The one thing that Jaylen Brown does more than Tatum is he attacks the rim. He has more field goals at the rim, more field goals in the restricted area, all that stuff. And that's where the Pacers defense is weakest, attacking the rim. So after going under in last game, I absolutely love getting Jaylen Brown to go over 4.5 first quarter points in game 4. I think this is a phenomenal play as our first play. Next up, we're obviously sticking in the same game here, and I'm taking Derek White under 5.5 assists, -130 odds at Bet365. So another admittedly juiced play here at -130 odds, just like the other one. But another play that I absolutely love, and I think this is just a phenomenal fade of recent results. So last game, Derek White had 7 assists. He's gone over in all 3 games this series. But there are a couple reasons why I think that his assist line is just a little bit of an basically 3 straight outlier performances from an assist perspective when you look at the potential assists. But I went in and I watched all 7 of Derek White's assists from game 3. Really only 4 of them were legit assists. And when I say legit, I mean like he deserved that assist. It was from a pick and roll that he either dumped it off to Drew Holiday for a dunk. He either kicked it out to Jason Tatum, Al Horford for a 3-pointer. And then one of them happened on a fast break. That was somewhat legit, because fast break, that happens in the course of an NBA game. But 2 of them that I watched, I don't even think should have been counted as assists. One of them was literally off the tip-off. Al Horford tips it to Derek White. He's in the backcourt. He passes it to Jaylen Brown, doesn't do anything, just passes it to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown takes 3 dribbles, attacks the rim, and scores. Nothing special done from from Derek White in that play. And then he had another assist where the ball was just getting swung around. Derek White passed it to Jason Tatum. Tatum was 4 feet behind the 3-point line. He took 3 dribbles, attacked the rim, and somehow Derek White got an assist for that. It didn't really count from what should be counted at, or it didn't hit the definition of what should be counted as an assist. So I don't really think that the 7 assists that he got in game 3 is something that can really be replicated unless the scores table is once again way too generous with assists. And then, as I mentioned, 4 of them were actually legit that he got from a pick and roll, and then 1 from the fast break. So looking at Derek White, people are going to see that I'm taking his under and say, why would you do that? He's gone over literally in all 3 games this series. He has gone over in all 3 games. Perfect. That makes me immediately want to fade those results, because it's unlikely that he's going to be able to keep that up. And look at his assist to potential assist ratio in these 3 games. Game 4 is the perfect time to fade him. Game 1, he had 9 assists on 12 potential assists. Now, 12 is a high number. That admittedly, that wouldn't be great if he had 12 game over game, but he hasn't. And even 9 assists on 12 potential assists is a really high conversion rate. Then in game 2, he had 6 assists on 8 potential assists. That's a little bit more reasonable, 8 as opposed to 12. And again, a ridiculously high conversion rate. Game 3, 7 assists on 9 potential assists. Another crazy conversion rate from assist to potential assists. So based on what we've seen in the playoffs, I think we can count on probably 8 or 9 potential assists. I think is a reasonable, safe number. Even if he gets to 8 and 9 potential assists, it's unlikely that he continues to have such an outlier assist to potential assist ratio, because 3-point shots are not high percentage shots. By nature, they miss more than 50% of the time. And that's not all the assists that he's getting, but 3 of them were on 3-pointers. And another one was just off a dump off, again, to Drew Holiday. And then the other 2 were not even fair, shouldn't have even been counted as assists. So even if he gets the 8 and 9 potential assists, I find it unlikely he has such a high conversion rate for the 4th straight game. And one could make the argument that even expecting 8 or 9 potential assists, that might be an outlier when you compare the 3 playoff games to the regular season. Because looking at the regular season, he averaged 6.2 potential assists per game, and only once did he go over 6 potential assists in the regular season. That was a 5-game sample size. Now, that's also not perfect looking at the regular season. 2 of the games, he didn't even play 30 minutes. So if you want to count those as outliers as well, that's totally fine. But that's also three other games in which only once he went over 6 potential assists. And then if you look at the playoffs as a whole and you don't look at the specific matchup, so Derek White's gone over 5.5 assists in 4 of 13 playoff games. The Celtics have played 13. He's gone over in 4 of them. That just so happens to be 4 straight games in which he's gone over 5.5 assists. So that means that he started the playoffs 0 of 9 in terms of going over 5.5 assists and now has done it in 4 straight. Sure, that 0 of 9 is probably an outlier. Hitting it in 4 straight is also probably an outlier. That is something that I will gladly take to not happen game over game, to occur once again in game 4. So that's what we're rocking with. 2 plays that are fades of recent results. I love both of them. It feels like a 2-0 day for Monday, hopefully after already going 1-0 on Sunday. And that's all we got. 2 bangers for you guys to lock in, and make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.